Hi, we're the K3, and this is our weekly watch list where we watch as many K-dramas sheltering in place as humanly possible and come back to you and report what we're liking, loving, and dropping.
Do you like the shirts that Jen and I have been wearing? And the mugs that we use? We want you to know that by supporting the K3, by buying a t-shirt or mug or sticker, we will donate 20% to the World Health Organization and the UN Foundation's COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Monday, Tuesdays, where all the action's happening these days, though.
That's right. That's right.
Crazy. I'm always like, I have so many to watch, and then I get to like Thursday, and I'm like, I got plenty. It's all good.
I know.
It's all good. Oh, and then we lost HYENA this week. All right, we'll get to that though. Monday, Tuesday. First up, the weather is fine. Is it still fine?
The weather got very dark and stormy and abusive.
Oh.
And then would flip to so we got to know more about Park Min-young, Haewon's mother and aunt. And this is feeling more like an ensemble piece at this point.
Oh, okay.
It's really kind of nice. It's almost like a look at these small town characters and what they're going through. So it's not all heavy and it's not all romance and it's not all wacky comedy with the teenagers. So it's kind of this really nice mix. And it's a really great look at all of these characters. It's not just like Park Min-young is the star and it's 16 episodes of her story. So I'm kind of really digging that.
Okay.
And which, so it got very dark, but it's always great when these heavy social issues are part of a storyline. Yes. And maybe that's why you put up with some of the tropes that came in or not. I don't know. I was rolling my eyes by the end of the episode. But Park Min-young's aunt, played by Moon Jung-hee, who plays Myung-yo, and her sister, Park Min-young's mother, played by Jin Hee-kyung, the one who disappeared, the one who ended up in prison. She was in this horrible abusive relationship with her husband, but her husband clearly loved his daughter, loved Haewon. So it was really, it was really hard to watch. I mean, it was really physically violent and they showed a lot of it.
Oh, wow.
And they also showed what really happened, but they also showed this intense loyalty that the sisters had to each other to protect each other. So that was really beautiful, but man, and you know how at the beginning of an episode, they sometimes repeat what happened at the end of the previous episode? Yeah. Oh yeah. So they showed the entire abuse again. Oh my God. It was really intense.
I hate when they do that.
It was really intense. God, But then all of a sudden the next scene would flip to Park Min-young and So Kang-joon like canoodling together. So it was like, oh wow. But it's like, wow, this is what happens in a small town. You don't know what was happening in different people's homes. Even though one was a flashback. But so that was really well done. And you got to know the aunt and the mother a whole lot more. I hope the mother comes back in some way. But then the reason I was rolling my eyes by the end of it is that Im Se-mi's character is back. And guess what? She always loved Yoon-sub,
of course,
So Kang-joon's character, and she
K-drama triangle
exactly. And the thing is, he's like, because she comes to him and she's like, I always liked you, and he's like, okay, because he loves Park Min-young. So what does she do? She remembers the time that Yoon-sub went out into the mountain to save somebody. So she decides in the middle of the night to climb the mountain, and she's looking at this ravine. I'm like, are you really going to call him and then throw yourself off the side of the mountain? I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God.
She did?
No, it stopped before she took another step. But
good God.
Okay,
show.
So I haven't mentioned Yoon-sub's younger sister, who her name is Hui, and she's played by Kim Hwan-hee, and she is such a high schooler. She is so chatty and just says thoughts as she says what she's thinking. You know, there's no filters at
Zero.
all. Yeah. It's like, how come you're not using honorifics? Because I don't feel like it. And does it really matter? And, you know, she's just, she's a funny girl, and she's so lively and with a mad crush on a smart boy. So it's very cute.
Nice. Oh, good. Oh, good. So overall, I mean, how many more episodes do we have? Like, I want to say there's like...
That was 11 and 12.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so 4 more.
Four more. Okay. So does it feel like it's heading into the station well, or does it seem like there's a lot still left to...
I think that's how you end up with these ridiculous storylines of like your second female lead about to jump off a cliff because, you know, she has this long unrequited love for the, you know, for the first male lead. It's like, we see
in
it
episode 12, like that just seems so late in the game to be. It makes no sense.
And we haven't seen her in the longest time. And it's like, if they had made the story more about her and Haewon coming back together, that would have just been so great. But instead, we're back to this trope.
All right.
Yeah.
2 more weeks. Nobody knows. I really, 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 really enjoy the show. I just don't know what to say. I just really enjoy it. I think I said it last week. Like, I'm smitten with these people. Like, I do. I love the fact that Kim So-hyung's character, Cha Young-jin, she is just so dedicated to these boys. And Eun-ho finally is like, he finally is starting to piece everything together. And you said you got caught up this week. What did you think?
Yeah, I skipped a couple episodes, but I jumped back in because I wanted to see Jang Young-nam kind of blossom into all that she can deliver in a show.
Like, I'll tell you what,
she did not disappoint.
The reason you cast Jang Young-nam is because of this week's episodes. Like, her finding out that that basically Lee Sun-ho's brother-in-law is actually Eun-ho's father.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and just Jang Young-nam having to like have that meeting with him. Oh, it was just that.
But she was so cool, and then, you know, and just so strong and even keeled. And then she leaves and walks around the corner and then stumbles. And then the next scene is with her son, and she just breaks down, and it's just, you were here, and then you were here, and then you were here, and it's just so, she's so amazing.
She's so amazing. And I was like, yeah, that's what I was like watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is why you hire her. She's just so good at that. She's just so freaking good at it. I love it. And then there's just so many, the story is just kind of coming together. We're learning the backstory of what Park Hoon's character, how he got his name. And it basically was a name from the two guys at the church. One, the serial killer, and the other we don't really know a lot about. And, you know, and then we learn about his story, and he's just bonkers. But this is what I will say. Park Hoon, his acting is so good. Like, he's mental, right? Like, he's got there is some crazy thing happening right there, but he's so consistent as an actor. It's never like, hey, I'll be completely wacky in this scene, and in this scene I'll just be terrifying. It's like it's so consistent when he's like that animated version, and when he's like that, you know, I'm gonna get shit done version. Oh, he's just so good. Like, it's just such an amazing performance for me. I just love it. Like, I'm sad how much I'm questioning my own judgment how much I'm enjoying it.
It's hard to watch how much abuse he took as a child, but I completely understand why he has just, you know, for someone who was raised in a church, he's got this warped sense of morality. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And so I think it also tipped it that I believe he's probably the accomplice that killed Cha Young-jin's best friend. So that's kind of where I feel like we're getting to with that. Yeah. But then I just have to say my detective, first and foremost, did not show up until 20 minutes into episode 9. I literally wrote my note. I'm like, 22 minutes in and no junior detective? Boo. But once he did show up, he was a delight, and he makes me so happy. And when she called him and he's like, you can call me anytime, I'm like, oh God, my heart. I know that's not the story, but I'm like, I love them so much. They're just little moments, and I just love them so much.
I know they're so mismatched that it makes sense.
So, right, exactly. So mismatched. You can even look at her. I love when she kind of just looks at him like, I don't understand. Like, you're like from another planet. Like, what is happening? Why are I love it. I love it so freaking much. So much. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying the show. And I can't wait to watch 2 episodes again tomorrow. Yay. Yay. And the next one is 365 Repeat the Year. This one, where nobody knows is kind of, is it for a like serial killer crime show? It's a pretty nice even pace. Like we know what's happening. We're following all the regular story lineups and stuff. But 365 is crazy in the best way, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm
really enjoying it.
You know what? I watched episode 9. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
But I didn't watch the second hour because it became a little bit too much Colonel Mustard in the drawing room with the pistol. It's
really?
Yeah, it just became too much like Clue, like who's going to die next and what's the I don't know, it just
Oh, see, I'm loving that part of it because there's a whole game in place, and then what you missed. There was a little bit of that, and then we had this big time jump. Like they kind of figured out one of the clues. Yeah, there was a big clue that the book was basically the date of. You found out that the book that they had, which I forget, I didn't write the name of the book down, but the book was the date. Yeah, you probably didn't catch that episode. I think that was in 11 and 12. So. Because they're half-hour episodes, so it's 9, 10, 11, 12. And so I think it was in the second hour. And they got this book, and from this book there were all these excerpts that came from the book that were on the flowers. And so the book, the date of the pages of the book kind of told you the date that this person would die. So there was a lot of that kind of like clue type stuff happening. And so they thought they figured it out, and then they realized that it got a little wonky, and then they did figure something out because of people being in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Anyway, long story short, they then, once they figured this last clue out, they then did a 7-month time jump.
Oh.
So really bizarre, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's happening. And then at the very end of the episode 12, in walks our Ishin. I think her name is Ishin. Hold on, let me look this one up real quick. The
doctor in charge?
The doctor in charge, right?
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. 365, repeat the year. She comes rolling in because they're having another meeting. They're having the little coffee meeting with the 5 that are left, right? And she walks in, and they're all kind of like talking about how the year's gone. And I think something had just happened. Oh, one of the guys showed up dead that wasn't supposed to be dead, but that's where they figured out the final clue. They're like, oh my God, they did die on that day because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So in walks our evil lady, who we aren't sure is evil. She's been kind of on the fence, but in walks Ishin, right? And she basically says the final thing she says at the end of 12 is, yes, you're all dead.
What?
So, right? So I was chatting with Caitlin about it. So we don't know if she's bad, where she is actually manufacturing these deaths, or if she's trying to save all of these people from their death. And so that's why she had them all repeat the year. Because her daughter, you kind of find out that she has this little girl, and you find out that the daughter, she keeps repeating the year because not clearly, but my hypothesis is that just the daughter died in that train wreck. So she keeps repeating the year back to before the daughter died.
Trying to like redo.
Yeah, I don't know if she can redo that. I don't know if I don't know if she maybe figured out something a little too late that she can't save the daughter. We haven't gotten into that. But she rolls into this coffee shop, and they're all like, "What the hell just happened? We thought we were okay." No. She walks in and is like, "Yes, you're all dead." So, is she a bad guy that we should be trying to figure out, like, what evil machinations she's been doing, or is she trying to save them all? And she's just failed miserably for the first, So that's where we're at heading into this week's episodes. And I'm all in, and I love it.
So this is actually 24 episodes or 12 hours. So this is actually the halfway through it.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So it was getting a little, I will agree with you, it was getting a little bit like, where are we going to take this? And then all of a sudden they just were like, 7-month time jump. And I'm like, oh, I guess that's where we're taking it. Okay. All right. And then all of a sudden she rolled in and was like, you're all dead. What?
I'm wondering about Ga-hyun, Nam Ji-hyun's assistant. Does he play a role? Because
I don't know, because he's a little. It's a weird character, right? Like you feel like he's going to have a bigger play, but then he didn't, and then it's been 7 months, so I don't know. But I feel like he's a key player of some sort.
Yeah, because he's a recognizable actor. So, and he's often playing the kind of quasi bad guys. So
right, and so I keep waiting for him to like pop up doing something awful. So I don't know, but it's been. I really enjoy it. Like
that's good.
It's not a lot. Again, it's not a lot of heavy lifting, but it's super enjoyable. So the writer is doing a pretty good job of keeping all the story pieces in place. So we'll see what happens. We're heading into the second half now, and we'll see how that goes. But
yeah.
And then Piece of Your Mind. Piece of Your Mind just got cut down from 16 to 12 episodes because it's got bad ratings. That does not mean it's a bad show. It's just the ratings are bad. So TVN was like, hey, Piece of Your Mind, your ratings are crap. We're only going to give you 12 episodes, which is, I find to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I don't.
I mean, we've seen shows get cut down, but have we? But usually for another reason.
I can't, like all of a sudden someone goes off to the military, but getting it cut, I feel like we have, but not with major stars like this. And this is really, I mean, that throws everything into a tizzy. Like you've got, your writers have blocked out the entire 16 episodes, your shooting schedule, your directors, like everything. That's like a really crazy thing to do.
It's a hard heel turn to go from thinking you had an extra 4 episodes to lay out story to suddenly so this just basically means that we just hit our halfway point in these episodes, which,
that's, you know what? Now you've just undercut your creatives. So if you thought it was doing poorly before, and the thing is, ratings in Korea, shows now have a life outside of Korea.
Right.
So there are definitely shows that did okay over there that were really big internationally.
Yep.
So I'm really surprised that they made such a quick, really dramatic decision to do this, because now you've kind of imploded the story that you had bought.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. So I'm only going based off the English language report. So there might be some nuance that was missed in the Korean, that maybe it was a different choice or something. But they've cut it by 4 episodes. So it's crazy. So where are you with what at the end of 6? Where were you?
Where was I? This is such an odd show, and it's odd and it's different, which I really like, and I like the two of them so much together, Jung Geumja and Chae Soo-bin.
Right, they have an amazing chemistry, and it's not like a super hot chemistry, but it's just a really nice chemistry.
Yeah, they're really just kind of growing together, and that piece of AI is gone.
Thank God. I literally wrote in my notes, I'm like, they need to get rid of this freaking AI story point and be done with it, because I cannot anymore with it.
Yeah.
And so I was glad when he just was like, goodbye. I was like, oh, thank God.
So I would like to see them really kind of accelerate the second couple's story.
Yes. Oh my God, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, so Kim Sung-kyu, who plays Kang In-wook, the widow, I guess you would say, he's just stomping around, drinking and getting mad at people and shutting down and not saying
anyone
things.
That his wife is dead. Like, it makes no sense. They're like, is she still in Norway? And he's like, no. When is she coming back? What? I don't know. She's never coming back. Like, I don't understand it.
I don't understand either. Why would you not tell anyone? Or why would you tell somebody and then let them tell people?
Right.
Because that's also stopping that storyline. Like nothing can happen between Hana, because it's just going to be her misunderstanding his mood and him being all like drunk and like angry,
aggressive
and not dealing with this trauma that he's going through. So until somebody actually let some floodgate open, they're not going to be able to have a relationship. So I'm hoping that happens next on Monday.
I'm fascinated by the way the story is structured, that it's all hinging on Jisoo.
Yeah.
It's just this one woman, and these two guys are completely hung up on her, and she's now dead, and neither one of them can really get over her. But at least Jung Hae-in and Chae Soo-bin, those characters, at least both know the entire situation that they're embroiled in. But our second couple is like just bouncing off like the wall of like trying to figure it out. And I just need them to finally, I need them to be on the same page. And I need Jisoo to be laid to rest, really. I just need her to find some peace, because clearly her life, for whatever trauma that we're about to find out about, that her husband, Gang In-wook, caused. I mean,
what?
Clearly,
we don't know.
Clearly, it sounds like he was somehow caused an accident that caused Moon Han-won's mother to die. It sounds like it's kind of like, looks like where we're going with that. But I just don't understand how it completely imploded her entire marriage and her life. Like, get therapy. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I have massive quibbles with a lot of what's happening in this story that all hinge on the Jisoo character. But I love both couples. And so I literally get through it and get through the episode, and I'm like, I hate you, show. I'm still watching you, show. God damn it.
Well, I find it really interesting that this is the writer from On the Way to the Airport, because that
God, that's right.
Yeah, that was really well paced.
Yes.
And I mean, it's a challenge to introduce this, a bit of sci-fi, and it's a challenge to write something with really damaged characters.
Right.
But with On the Way to the Airport, there were major plot points that you moved through, and that people were able to come together through them. But with this, it's not, I don't see that happening there.
Like, I feel, now that you mention that, because I forgot this was the On the Way to the Airport writer, there are there are themes in both scripts that are very similar. So you have you almost have two marriages again that are, not working out. And then you've got these other people that come into the situation that cause you to see the full picture. And that's what I love about the show. So maybe that's why I'm still enjoying it, is that I enjoy the fact that nobody's perfect, and I enjoy exploring those themes about humanity. Mm-hmm. But this AI device just completely, in my personal opinion, derailed the entire thing. Where, like, if she had maybe just died, and maybe it was through the grieving process, we could have learned more about both of the male characters. But I feel like this AI device just really is throwing the whole thing off for me.
Yeah, I'm also not really sure why she had to have been so against talking to him. Like, she could have. It still would have worked if she had just not seen him in a really long time, and and said, "Sure, I'll help you with this device." Maybe even that. Maybe and it was an unrequited
pivot,
love.
It would have been it would have been fine. But this weird using a dead woman's voice and stuff it was just weird. Just was weird. And are they going to reactivate it so that the husband can get over his trauma? Like, I don't understand this AI device at all.
I know. And then I'm not sure what's going on in the boarding house, because I don't think, so I don't think that Lee Jung-un, I don't think she's the mother of that young man.
No, neither do I, but she knows him clearly because he set up the whole thing. And I'm not sure I trust that young man with our little boarding house mother.
Den mother. I know. And I feel bad for her because
with him. Yes.
Yeah. He's so arrogant, and she's like, she needs some confidence and a makeover, because she looks like she's like 35 and she looks like she's 72, the way she dresses with the house coats and stuff. It's like, I just need some confidence, and I would like to see that play out.
Right. Like, I do. There are definitely threads that I'm kind of like, oh, let's dive in there. Yeah. We've got Lee Soo-jung, who hasn't even shown up yet. She's supposed to be in this. She's listed as a support role in this.
You're right. Oh, her last name is Yoon.
She's the grandmother. She's
the grandmother,
at the thing. We just haven't officially met her. We met her briefly in like episode 1 or something, right? That's what it is. I'm like, wait, what?
Yes.
What is happening? Yeah. So, I mean,
where is she?
I'm really enjoying the performances, and I'm really enjoying these actors, just watching them do a really nice job with what they're given. But this story is a hot mess.
So we're halfway through now. So hopefully they can pull it together because they've got 12 and they got to make it work somehow.
Right? But yeah, I am. I know. I'm in it for the next 6 episodes, the next 3 weeks, because I've now officially I literally wrote, still creepy with the dead X on a voice device. That was my first note. I was like, they're sweet, but I don't get the story. And so I like the fact now that they have at least like mentioned this. At least I have 1% of a chance with you. You're alive. You have no % chance. She is dead. And so I was like, God, thank you, because Lordy. And then he actually took that advice.
I know. And he said goodbye. That was beautiful.
It
was goodbye to her.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I'm crying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, it's really well done. It just causes me to go, I don't understand. Why am I getting emotional? I don't understand what's happening right now. Yeah. So, show, you befuddle me, but I watch you every week.
Yes.
Right? All right. Piece of your mind? I'll give you a piece of my mind. Piece of your mind. Jung Geumja. I need him in something else. I need him to be. We just kind of wrapped that one up, but I just need to say he's a really good actor. I really enjoy him, but I would really like to see him. What's the word I'm looking for? Aggressive is the wrong word, but I would like to see him maybe channel a little bit more of what I saw in him in Prison Playbook. Yes,
when he plays a tougher character, he's really good. So
he really is. I feel like I would like to see more of that because I think there's a little more depth that we could mine with him as an actor that I would like to see. And he's great as a romantic lead. Are you kidding? Looking at you with those puppy dog eyes, please. Done. But yeah, I need. Let's get at it now. All right.
Yeah.
Show. I just keep wanting to talk about you because you confuse me so much. All right, moving on. Wednesday, Thursday, we have one entry, and it's only on Thursday. Hospital playlist. Marisa, I'm so behind, but I swear to God, when I build my list every week, I put it on there. I just have now 6 episodes to watch.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's really good. I love these characters so much. And I also love that there's love in the hospital.
Yeah. You know what? I'm such a cynic so much of the time, but you tell me if there's a little bit of a love line anywhere and I'm all in. Talk to me. Go.
Well, John Mi-do, she's found a lump. So it looks like, but she's a doctor. She's smart. We'll see what happens.
Right. Okay.
Reply series, those aren't known for killing off characters. They don't
good.
They're not, they don't go that tropey. They take tropes and flip them on their head, or they handle them lightly. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah. So the doctor who likes her is one of her minions, I guess you could say.
Nice.
But he played the, what was he in? Speaking of Jung Hae-in, he was in One Spring Night. He was the one that
was he the brother?
He was the one in a relationship with Han Ji-min, and she left him to he
was the abusive boyfriend?
Yeah. But in this one, he's like former military. He's a really good guy, and he likes her, and it's really sweet.
I'm not saying he's always going to be an abusive boyfriend. I was just like trying to put it together.
It took me so long because he looks different in it, and I get, obviously he's a very different character, but it took me a while to figure out who he was. But it's very sweet. He likes her.
Okay.
And then
I believe I think I saw I think that was the clip that I was like, I may have to jump back in.
Which one?
The one with Jung Kyung going
Jung Kyung-ho when he gets clocked by Jo Jun-suk's sister.
No, did he? I didn't see that part. I just saw him say maybe we should date, and I was kind of like smitten by it. She turned him down. Roundhouse kick. He snuck up on her for some reason. They were all staying in the same apartment for one night, and he snuck up on her, which is not a smart thing to do. To sneak up on a soldier who's like #1 in Taekwondo and #1 in this and #1 in Judo, and so roundhouse kick to the face. And then after that, he tells her that he likes her. So it was really he must really like her. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, but there's some really interesting storylines in here. And again, because these are reply series, they don't go super deep and crazy and soap opera with like, there's an organ trafficking storyline. There's a child abuse storyline, but these are all patients in the hospital. And our doctors are smart enough to figure it all out. And it's really their point of view. So you don't go so deep into this heavy duty storyline. But instead you see how our very competent doctors handle it. And I was thinking, it's really interesting seeing Jo Jun-suk in this role because it's an ensemble piece. And these are really big stars. And whenever I see him, he's the star of the show. And so it's really kind of cool to see him as part of this group because they're all, the level of acting and talent, it's so high. It's so good.
Okay. All right. I'm determined to get caught up at some point. I make no promises, but I will get back on board. Because every time
so enjoyable.
I'm like, I should jump back in.
You should.
I will try again this week. All right. What can we look forward to this week in hospital playlist? What can we look forward to?
Oh, in hospital playlist, what is there to look forward to? I can't. I don't know. There's so much. There's 5 doctors. There's 5 characters, and they all have like more than like one thing happening to them. There's just so much. I think that's the thing with the reply guys. It's like there's consistency. It's interesting. Like you don't see things coming. And then all of a sudden they're there and it's just like, oh, that's a surprise. But there's, and things are done with a light touch. The hospital director is not fighting with the foundation director. It's
nice. Okay.
They actually all ate lunch together and Yoon Suk had them playing this game. It was just like, it's so enjoyable.
Okay. All right. I will jump back in. Yay. All right. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, HYENA.
What are we going to do on the weekends now?
King, the Eternal Monarch takes that slot from HYENA.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping that it brings me even half as much joy as HYENA did.
I took my husband's tracksuit.
Nice. I love it. What you need to have is like the little random pin to cover up the logo. It's so hilarious. I'm like, why is it? Oh, they're covering the logo. I was like, well, that makes no sense. I loved it. Oh my God. So did you find the ending satisfying?
Yes and no.
Right? Yeah.
There was a lot of plot. Did not care about Mr. Song that much in the trial. It's like, I was scared this was going to happen, that it was going to be so much explanation of the crime that happened and the court trials. It's like, but I want more of like Ju Ji-hoon and Kim Hae-soon and like all of their kids
their team
in the law firm.
I love them so much. Yeah, I feel like we got cheated on that a little bit for sure. It did. There was a lot of plot that we had to burn through to get there, and this was probably the only. And we had said this before. This is where our big fear was, but I still found it so enjoyable. Like. I just love them so much, like just as a whole show. And I don't know. I really don't even know what to say specifically because it was really enjoyable. All of our, and I found that like, it was really interesting that we spent so much time on HeeJae's dad. And then HeeJae's dad just basically didn't
it amounted to nothing.
It amounted to nothing. So I really wasn't sure where that story was going, except to maybe to bring HeeJae more online with the Chung law firm. Like, people, I've changed and other people don't change. And I don't know if that was kind of the story there. So it was really interesting to me, kind of the battles that they did pick for the ending, right?
But also, now, what did you think of Kim Hae-soo's dad in that storyline?
And again, it was really interesting. Like, he dies, and it wasn't like I expected her to, like, go weep over his corpse, but it was interesting that it was almost a throwaway line where, like, at least this time he didn't kill me and he tried to save me. He won't end up in the third, the worst tier of hell. Like, it was just, there was a lot of great beats, like, with HeeJae not saving her, but, going to her rescue and being there for her and taking care of the situation when she obviously could not. And then being there for her when she had the bad nightmare. Like, there was great moments with them that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But it was interesting what they chose to give us in those last 2 episodes. I just, so it was really fascinating to me. I want to say that it felt like they were setting us up for an additional seasons of these characters, because it felt like it was unfinished to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm definitely disappointed that we didn't spend a little more time in the Chung law firm,
right,
and with these characters that we've gotten to know, because the Chaebol murder storyline, the mergers and acquisitions of Isumi, and like who didn't care? Like it was that's the third or fourth storyline.
Yeah. And I felt that, but I kind of lost the thread as to exactly how she died or why she died. Like, why did Mr. Song kill her? Like, I know they argued about something. And
about money? It's like
about money. Like it just was violent to her, like for no apparent reason. Like I felt like it was kind of it was a weak explanation for all how much air it took up in the room,
Yes. And that they kind of forgot that what was important about that storyline of that young woman being in an abusive relationship was how it related back to Kim Hae-soo, to Jung Geumja. It's like, that's what was important, not...
Yeah, exactly.
And then you ended up sacrificing her anyway. It's just like, I was like, oh. Yeah. So it was satisfying, but not, like, because it concluded, but it was like,
yeah.
You
could have cut out, like, a good 45 minutes of all the lawyering and give us more of, Jiyoon and our lawyers and, those moments that, my God, she was calling him Yoon by the time we got to episode 16. I was just like, I just need to see more of that. Like, it was amazing. Yoon, over here. Like, I was just like, that's the stuff that I think all of us wanted more of. So
right. And her explaining why she was looking at the building. It was like a 20-second explanation. It's like that would have been much more satisfying.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like because Key East is the main producer. That was what would kick up first and foremost. And that is Ju Ji-hoon's agency. So that is, and there's a couple of actors that I didn't really pull up, but they're the producer, they're the key producer for this show. And so again, people argue all the time back and forth about how Netflix is making it a multi-season type game plan, but I've been reading since I started getting into K-dramas that a lot of the production companies in Korea want to go to the more American multi-season platform. And I think Netflix just gives them that global audience that allows them to financially support that. So I kind of can see, like, kind of how Romantic Dr. Teacher Kim 1 and 2, it's a completely new story every time. And that's why we enjoy it. So it's not like this has never happened before. I mean, we had it with my only concern is, like, Queen of Mystery and Queen of Mystery 2, I think Queen of Mystery 1 was great. Queen of Mystery 2, I couldn't even get through the first 4 episodes.
I remember. Yeah, me too.
And so that's my only concern. So if we bring them back, which I kind of feel like, and someone, and I apologize, I forget who mentioned this, but it's one of our HYENA live watch people had posted that. Yeah, right. I love us, and we're totally doing the finale this week. So get ready. Wednesday, 1:00. We're going to do our watch party, and then we're going to talk about it in the after chat. It's going to be amazing. But they had mentioned that Key East, I keep saying Key East on their Facebook page posted an article about someone already talking about how everybody wants a season 2. So Key East is aware that the ratings were good. Everyone was losing their damn minds over Kim Hae-soo and Ju Ji-hoon as these two characters, and that there's already a clamoring for a season 2. So I wouldn't be surprised if, kind of like Romantic Dr. Teacher Kim, a year or two from now, all the stars go into a line again, and we get we get to visit this, this world again, which I would totally be into.
Love that. Yeah.
So, because she still has to buy the building. Like, there's a whole, we got that whole storyline. Can we just talk fashion for a hot second, though?
Oh, I know.
All right, listen. Where do you? Okay, I get it. There is Western fashion and there is Eastern fashion, and I get that. But I I'm sorry. When you have that perfect of a completely full plaid suit that is so gorgeous on that person, and then you put bright orange shoes on him, why are you doing that? Put the bright orange shoes on like a solid color black suit or one of his, charcoal suits, not in a green, blue, and black plaid suit. Why?
I can't wait. I have to look up
why?
who the designer is. It's probably like Louboutin or something.
I'm
It's going to be
sure.
amazing.
I'm sure those shoes were $80 billion, but that
Oh, I
plaid
know.
suit was so gorgeous. And then all of a sudden there was these bright orange shoes. Like, why? Why so?
Because you notice them and you're like, oh, he's turned into a whole different man. So much pizza also.
So much pizza.
So
oh my
much
God.
pizza at the end, my Lord.
Right. I mean, I loved
that epilogue. I was like, ooh, an epilogue. I'm like,
right.
Oh, it's just a commercial.
It really was. But it was adorable. It
was cute.
It. Like,
and then her skipping down the lane.
The orange shoes would have been perfect with that suit.
Ah, I see.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't anti-orange shoes. I loved the orange shoes. I just was like, you have this amazing plaid, full body plaid. Top it off with some nice black shoes. That's all I'm saying. or I'll even go with green shoes or blue shoes. Just not neon orange.
Well, I think if you notice what she was wearing, which was like a short black dress, then it was like neon lights flashing. You're like, this man has changed.
I know. I'm just, I don't know. I was like, oh my God, no, boo.
You know what? We do need to check out that pizza because I was Googling it. And apparently the crust is made with Korean black rice. It's kind of purplish. So I don't know if it's gluten-free, but if any of our friends are in South Korea, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's like if it's rice and flour, but we need to find out.
Yes.
So if you are in South Korea or if you know of Pizza Al Volo, you need to tell us if that's a gluten-free crust.
Absolutely. No, I totally need to know that because the first couple times we saw it, I'm like, I don't know what's happening with this pizza. By episode 16, I'm like, I need to eat that pizza. Like, I just need to try it. So God bless PPL. It worked. I was all in on that pizza by the time it was over. I was like, yes, okay, I'm in. I don't know. I just loved them so much. I just loved the fact that you had two characters who, again, script-wise, stayed true to who they were. There were no huge swings at the end of episode 16. Suddenly, Jung Geumja didn't suddenly confess her love to HeeJae, but she showed it in very lovely ways, in the ways that she does it. For her, it means loyalty and being there for you and being your teammate. Like that, I love that is what we kept. And the way Yoon HeeJae keeps doing it is he's always talking about it. He always needs he needs to talk to you about it. Like I love the fact that we kept those things going.
But what do you think about this attempted murder on her, and that Mr. Song was like, why are you coming at me this hard? And she's like, don't forget, you tried to kill me.
Right.
But wouldn't it have been better if it was like, because she supported HeeJae, that's why she's going, she's taken on his fight.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to.
Well, and here's my other question with that. Here's my quibble with that. How in the hell did Song get his guy to that place where she just got the text from her dad, so no one knew she was going there? So how exactly did Song find out to send his minion to be there before she got there? I don't get it. I had quibbles. I had a lot of quibbles with the last couple of episodes. Doesn't mean I didn't love it, but I felt like the last two episodes were a bit rushed story-wise. Oh, hey, my cat has joined the show. Oh, my cat.
Sweetie. Oh.
Hey, buddy. Boy. Oh, shit. Ooh. Well, that was very exciting with my cat. So yeah, where were we?
How did the guy who was trying to murder her arrive before? Yeah.
How? That just made no sense. And so I feel like the writer knew that they were running out of time in these last two episodes. And what we were all afraid of. There were just too many story points going into the final 4 episodes where it was just you just had to start just chunking them off in the quickest way possible. And so we were almost all right, we'll do a quick line here and a quick line there. And I feel like to some extent we did get shortchanged on that.
Yeah, because we didn't get to Ms. Kim and her sister who's in a coma because of Mr. Song. Like that storyline got shoved to the side.
Totally. But can we talk for a hot minute how much I again loved all the women in this show? Like it was amazing how the women just ruled the world, man. Like all the guys were you were either like on board or you were discarded, and it was. I loved it so much that not only did Jung Geumja, her team, like they all were like, we want to work with you. Like we don't like we would rather work for this hyena because at least we feel like we're doing something. We feel like we're not just cogs in the great machinations of politics. Like I just loved how much, again, Chung Law Firm, like the loyalty that she inspired in all these people. And then it transcended into we got HYENA back again. And I love the fact that she was a consistent thorn in every dude's side all the way to the end. Like I freaking loved that. So I feel like there are still some really juicy storylines that we could definitely, play with.
Yeah, I think it's just such a bummer. This happens so often when in episode 16 they get caught in these plot points and trying to like flesh out what happens to this story when really it's so unimportant compared to where our characters are going to go together. Yeah. So that was kind of a bummer for me.
It was kind of, but I will say this. I honestly did not feel shortchanged with where our two leads ended up. Like, I love the fact that they're still bickering like just an old married couple. Yeah. And I mean, no disrespect to old married couples. Like we all aim to be like that. But I love the fact that I read this. I don't even know where I read it, but I thought it was a great analysis. I thought the way the story was structured that I really enjoyed is that we started in episode 1 with the love story, but the love story wasn't real. And so we spent 16 episodes getting to where we ended up, which was that they learned so much about each other that they do. I think they truly love each other now, but it's not that fake romantic version that we all think is what we want. And that was what I loved about where we ended up with HeeJae and Geumja.
Yeah, because every time you saw them march down the hall together or, at the end when they were walking together and she was skipping, you're like, these two are a team. Like, they do belong together. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I found that to be much more satisfying than if the proposal was real or if she said she loved him. Like, she did. I love the fact that she finally owned up to that. And he was like I just...
that whole... I have to say, she was like peak Jung Geumja, like with the red dress and the Agio character and the rose engagement ring, like all of that play was just so fun to watch.
It was so fun to watch. And then with that almost, like that was a lot of fun to watch. And then something that I just feel like we have not given enough attention to, and we give a lot of attention to Joo Ji-hoon, but his reactions to things are amazing. And I love them so much. Like he's like my living emoji spirit animal because he reacts to things and I'm just like, I love it. Like when they did the poppers and he was like,
I know.
I was like his
so funny.
Facial expressions are always like, I love him so much. As an actor, like he just does reactions so well and they're just so like, I love him. I could literally just watch all of his reactions on just a loop. They just bring me joy.
Yeah, I started rewatching Along with the Gods because I need more of him.
Right.
Yeah. Are you going to turn around and start with episode 1 again?
I haven't decided. I probably will very soon because I need more of him in my life. I do. And it's not even because, I mean, we do talk about how good he looks in his suits and all, and he's a very attractive man. Absolutely. He's just such an enjoyable actor for me. Like there's something about his acting style that is just so not forced for me that it's just I feel like I'm actually watching Joo Ji-hoon just having a conversation. And so there's something very visceral about watching him act for me that I I've even like gotten over it with Mask. Like I'm like all in on Mask because I don't know. I've stopped trying to figure it out. But he has this, we joke about it a lot, but like he's got this soft underbelly to his performances that keep him from being really nasty. And there's something about that I just find so engaging when I watch him act that I just can't get enough of it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's really weird. Like I really, really, truly enjoy his as an actor. And then he looks really pretty and things. So
yeah,
it helps a lot. I mean, I'm not lying. It helps a lot. But he's just a really good actor. So
yeah. I mean, if you want something really interesting, go back to Princess Hours, where he was like a 21 or something.
I think I have limits. No, I did. I was on KOCOWA the other day, and they changed their entire platform, like on Roku at least, where now it's like they have different categories. Where like law, military, fantasy, sci-fi. Like they busted out like all of this, and they seem to have added a bunch more content. And I was scrolling through them because I'm like, where the hell are all my shows? And I was scrolling through them, and all of a sudden it was like fantasy, or I think it was, I forget which the category was, but it was like the Lucifer, and I'm like, wait, that's Juji Hoon. Like, what the hell is that? Like, what show is that? And so I went and Googled it. It was like 2007. I'm like, no. I may really enjoy him, but I have limits. I think 2015 is as early as I will go on that. But who knows? I might get really desperate. Though I am trying to find. He did a movie in the last couple of years where he played a serial killer, and I really do want to watch that to see if my concept of his acting transcends what I think is happening.
Oh, so, interesting.
I'm very intrigued by it, so I have to go track it down. So if you guys know where I can find it, I haven't been able to find it on Amazon or on Netflix, so it might be on Hulu. So if anyone can let me know, I forget what it's called though. It'd probably be handy. But he plays a serial killer. It can't be that hard to find. I don't think he plays a lot of them.
Oh man.
Anyway, HYENA, you are going to be so missed. It was just such great characters, such great themes, such great worldviews. Like the growth of all the characters through 16 episodes. It
was solid.
It was just so solid.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. It is. And I will say this, and I have mea culpa of myself on Crash Landing on You, but I would say that I really, if I had to pick, when we do our best couple of the year at the end of the year, I think Jung Geumja and Yoon HeeJae might take my top spot over the Chloe couple.
Oh, well, I could see that because they're so spunky in a way that is just so different and enjoyable, and just so much like they're just so much more alive,
Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. Crash Landing on You was so satisfying.
We love them.
Loved them.
But
loved their banter. But I think maybe
for
that's
a romantic couple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Crash Landing on You was just a lot of crying, a lot of weeping. And I'm not saying that I'm anti that. Like, it was very satisfying at the time. But then the universe turned around and gave me HYENA. And I'm like, yes. This is it. Like, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, seriously. So we're going to do it on Wednesday again. We'll watch the final episode with everyone. Then we'll talk about it because obviously we could talk about it for a really long time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So amazing.
It's
over.
So good. I know. I'm so sad. So let us know, you guys. Are you guys hitting play immediately on episode 1? Are you going to let it just kind of set in? Let the depression kind of ease out of your system a little bit before you hit that drug one more time. Like, let us know how you're handling the rewatch situation on that. Whew. All right. And that's it. That is our weekly watch list for this week. It was a good one. And we're rolling into the April shows. We've got The King, The Eternal Monarch, starting in the HYENA slot this week. So fingers crossed it's a satisfying watch. So it's going to be a good one. Thanks so much, you guys. We're the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And keep that conversation going. If you want to go ahead and check out what we are excited about for April, go ahead and check it out. You never know which hand to use with this new system. Yeah. And we will see you next time. Bye.